All right. Next, moving on. This is from Sheila Jacobs. B vitamins supplementation as treatment for episodic migraine in women. Migraines is a big deal, right? Huge deal for not, I mean, not just for women, for everyone, but women tend to deal with it more than men do. Okay, and obviously they could be hormonal imbalances that have to do with that as well. You know, time of the month, obviously, menstrual cycles, pregnancy, menopause, all those things. You know, women deal with a lot. They deal with a lot, and I tell you, it's. I live with two women, so I see what they deal and have dealt with, right? So, but when you take a look at just headaches in general, okay, um, a lot of headaches, a good majority of the headaches, when you depending on where you're looking, can be what's called cervicogenic, okay, which means that they come from the neck or they come from some kind of deviation in the spine. Okay, that causes a lot of headaches. They could be trigger point headaches. They could come from the back of the neck. From one side, there's cluster headaches that come and go in different clusters. They tend to be on one side to the back of the eye. There's many different types of headaches, and again, my mother used to deal with migraines when I was a kid, and I remember she used to have to be in a quiet room. She would have to turn off the lights, and she would have to like take a nap for a while in order for go away. Everything had to be really, really quiet. So a kid like me couldn't be busting in the room and running around and playing. So, she had to have some quiet because again, seeing spots, she would see spots and all these things. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal for women, especially. Um, then you get a smaller percentage of headaches are due to like dehydration toxicities, right? You're looking at things like, not having enough of the nutrients, that type of thing. Then maybe 1% of the headaches are due to like more major causes like tumors and stuff like that. But again, a lot of headaches can be dealt with if you're making sure you're getting the right nutrients. Now, I'm not saying all of them, but migraine specifically, there's been a lot of studies on a lot of different nutrients when it comes to migraines. Obviously, stress has a lot to do with it as well. Some people find that their migraines come after a stressful event. So these are things you got to take into account. Also, with migraines, you also have to take a look at gut health, right? Are there certain foods that can trigger a migraine? Okay, and you have to kind of look at that. If there are certain foods, if you keep a food log, do you see a pattern of food that is triggering a migraine? So if you can take a food log and you're seeing the same pattern, the same foods, you might have to take that food out for a while and see if that's having the problem. So again, these are all little things that you can look at when it comes to migraines, when it comes to headaches in general. Or again, if it's a cervicogenic headache, you may want to go to a corrective chiropractor to see if there's some kind of twisting, or the spine is out of alignment or something like that. Discs are out of alignment, neck is out of alignment. All can be part of migraines and headaches. So just some things to think about if you are dealing with migraines and headaches. Now, this was 2022. This was out of the American Headache Society annual scientific meeting. And it was recognizing that sufficient studies have demonstrated the efficacy of vitamin B2 in migraine prophylaxis. Okay, so they've done many studies on vitamin B2, and they found that it has been helpful in supplementation when it comes to migraines in general. Okay, but what they wanted to study in this study was they wanted to examine the effects of supplementation with the other B vitamins. Okay, so they looked at B1, B6, B12, B9, again, folic acid or folate, okay, as well as a combination of these vitamins in women with episodic migraine. And they conducted a double-blind, placebo-controlled, randomized 16-week clinical trial. This was in Iran. Now, the double-blind, placebo-controlled trial is like the gold standard of trials, right? So was a good trial. Now, it was not a lot of women, but it was a total of 120 women with episodic migraine. They were divided into following 6 groups. Okay, so with 20% participants enrolled in each group. Now, there was different groups. There was vitamin B1, vitamin B6 group, vitamin B12 group, B9 group, B complex group, and then the 6th group was a placebo. Okay, so they divided them into each these separate vitamin groups. Now, the results of the study showed that mean changes in the frequency of headache attacks were significantly decreased in all the vitamin groups compared with the placebo group. All the vitamin groups, not just one, all. So participants who received a 12-week supplementation with vitamin B9, B1, B6, B12, and B complex had significant decreases in the number of abortive drugs used compared with those treated with the placebo. Okay. So basically, what they're telling you is all the people who are on vitamins, whether it was one vitamin, had a reduction in the amount of drugs used for their migraines, and therefore the severity of their migraines. You know, basically what it's saying. Okay, they did say that they have to be more follow up, which is what they always say. But I mean, this is big. Again, this is new science on this. So again, this says make sure you're getting enough of these B vitamins and enough of the nutrition. We can't hammer that enough on this. Take that into account. If you're not on a multivitamin and you are having problems with migraines or headaches in general, get on a good multivitamin and make sure you are getting your gut in check. Again, take a look at all those things that I talked about in the beginning of this article, you know, and just kind of do an assessment. And I've worked with people with migraines and headaches and this type of thing. Okay. And we kind of take a look at all this. We look at the food. We look at the if they're coming from the spine, or we look at, you know, the supplements. Are you dehydrated? Do you have stress in your life? All these things, physical, chemical, emotional stress, all these things can contribute. You got to kind of be a detective when it comes to this. You know, again, this is what's called taking responsibility for health, but it's worth it, because if you could find those things that trigger and lessen the severity or lessen how many times you get it throughout your life, I mean, wouldn't it be worth it, right? So again, just some things to think about when it comes to migraines and headaches in general. Take a look at it. Again, Wellness Resources has all the stuff you need when it comes to that. So check it out.